believe I even have to do this, but it's increasingly unclear to me that Donald Trump can comfortably read the written English language. I mean, like English written on pages. I genuinely think, after reviewing a bunch of videos and comments and evidence yesterday, that Donald Trump may barely be able to read. Advisors have even said he doesn't even really surf the web or use a computer. He'll scroll through Twitter on his phone and dictate tweets to people in the other room. That's yet another layer to this thing, that Donald Trump may not only have trouble reading, but also have trouble writing, as we've talked about before. And Trump has even tweeted about this himself. I dictate my tweets to my executive assistant and she posts them. Quote, time is money, source, The Art of the Deal. Of course, the phrase time is money didn't even come from The Art of the Deal. And again, this further continues to call into question both Donald Trump's reading and writing skills. His advisors have now also said Trump avoids reading any report or briefing that he finds to be too lengthy, and he will often just glance at the first page. Yeah. So now here's where it gets completely nuts. I took a look at some specific portions of a deposition that Trump gave in June of last year. And there are some really, really clear attempts here to avoid having to read out loud. His lawyer clearly doesn't want Trump to do any reading out loud. And here is the first clip where Trump says, I don't read leases. Let's start with that.
Did you review the lease at all before you signed it?
No.
How many leases like this have you reviewed in your career?
Signed or reviewed?
Reviewed.
Not too many. I signed 100.
Right. So he's never really reviewed a lease, and then he's asked to read a portion, and his lawyer really doesn't like it.
Yeah.
You did not review this section
What
of the
does that
lease,
say?
Monetary damages. This is in the remedies section.
I did not, no.
Okay. Would you be able to read this section and tell us what your understanding of it is?
Objection. Mr. Trump isn't a lawyer.
I mean, do you want me to read it? It's long.
It is long.
It's very long.
It is long.
So then it looks like maybe Trump is actually going to read, his lawyer seeming increasingly nervous, and it gets really weird.
I would like you to read just the monetary damages section, starting at the number 1 in the middle of the page. Just there. The rest of that, and to the end of that, it continues on the next page. And tell me what you think, reading that, you as the landlord are entitled to get from the tenant in the event of a tenant breach in the way of damages.
I don't have my glasses. I mean, I
Glasses?
am at a disadvantage because I didn't bring my glasses. This is such small writing.
All right, well, well, if the witness can't actually physically read the language,
I
that's a
mean,
problem.
it's very
but
small writing.
I also
I can make it out. Do you want me to try?
Well, we can have,
It's
you know what
just a-
we can do? We can have a bigger copy made of these pages.
Let
and
me
we'll
try.
come
Let me
back to
just do it.
All right, I have to place on the record a hearty objection.
Awkward. Very awkward. Insanely awkward. So long pause, looking at the page, looking confused. He doesn't have his glasses with him. Have we ever seen Trump wearing glasses when signing executive orders? Have we ever seen Trump wearing glasses at those countless rallies where he goes up on stage with polling data to read to people? No. Here's an example. Again, never any glasses.
All right. So South Carolina just came out, and that's 32 for Trump, 18 for second, 11 for third. Great. Florida leading by a lot, 31, 19, 13, and then all down in the dumps.
So again, he's able to read numbers off of a page. Didn't seem to have a problem there without his glasses. We've never seen him wear glasses, but all of a sudden at the deposition, he doesn't have his glasses. And then his lawyer objects again, as you heard. Lastly, Trump stares at it for a while. And then again, instead of reading it, he sort of weirdly paraphrases what he thinks it says.
Yeah, it's all damages that the landlord may sustain, including all legal fees and everything else involved. Looks like everything in the kitchen sink to me. Then you have number 2.
Yeah. Go on.
It's to value the positive difference with the aggregate amount of the base rent and the additional rent.
The guy can barely read, Pat. I am convinced he can barely read. And even on Inauguration Day, I didn't think much of this. Trump seemed confused about which orders he was signing and where to sign. But it's all part of this. He kept having to be told what he was signing, and now it all comes together. The guy barely can comprehend what's on pieces of paper.
We have to sign that.
I know that.
Before, and then they'll.
I thought it was healthcare. We're going to get Chuck to sign that. Where would you like me to sign this?
You just sign underneath.
Just underneath.
Any place you want.
As long as it's signed.
So we may have a Trump president. We may have a president in Trump here who isn't speaking at a fourth grade level because it's some genius way to appeal to people. It's because he's reading at a fourth grade level, and that's the highest level he's able to speak at.